way behind their new captain. And that, of course, is Jesse Bromwich on camera. His first time as captain. It's his 18th Test match. And quite ironically, the Test match captains come from the same club. Of course, Jesse Bromwich and Cameron Smith. The last time that happened was back in 2000. Richie Barnett and Brad Fittler. Tohu Harris wearing 6 tonight. He'll be playing in the centres. They've moved Cody Nikorima out from his position on the bench. He'll be filling the number 6 role vacated by Kieran Foran. So tonight, quite obviously, Shaun Johnson, this wonderful player that he is going to have to be at his best. Well, Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, he's been chosen to play for the Kiwis a couple of times. Once he was injured, once he was suspended, but tonight is the big night. He gets to appear in the black and white jumper. So Australia should get a good reception here. Cameron Smith at the head of affairs. 44th Test match. His 21st as captain. Semi Radradra, the 4th Fijian-born player to represent for Australia. Lote Tuqiri, Akila Iwate, Petro Civoniceva. And some sad news surrounding Semi. His dad was to actually fly down here, Samasoni, but he's in hospital in Fiji. So his brother, Rusa, is in the crowd tonight, having flown in from his native Fiji. And we wish the Radradra family all the very best, particularly Samasoni, who's in hospital as his son makes this Australian debut. That Four Nations win that we sat and watched back in 2014 was an historic night at this level of the game for New Zealand. It was the first time they won a major tournament at home and the first time undefeated in a major series. And I'm sure that they still haven't forgotten that wonderful night down in Wellington. So let's go down to the ground now for the renditions of the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthems of New Zealand and Australia, to be performed by Army musicians Jeff Camilleri and Amelia Johnson.
Pacific's triple star, from the shafts of strife and war, make her praises heard afar. God defend New Zealand.
Australians on their
Australia and New Zealand preceding the kick-off to this Trans-Tasman Test, the 4th Test match ever to be played here in Newcastle. Down on the sidelines, Brad.
It's actually Brett down here tonight, Ray. It's a lot less entertaining, but it'll make a lot more sense. Me and Joey filling in for Brad tonight. Great atmosphere down here.
So New Zealand taking the park without several of their key personnel, which was very much the case with Australia down at Westpac Stadium when the Four Nations went to New Zealand in 2014. Kieran Foran, Tuivasa Sheck, Vartuve, Isaac Luke, Ben Madalino. No appearance tonight. 2 debutants for New Zealand, Watene Zelezniak, as I mentioned, and Ma'u. And for Australia, Semi Radradra, Blake Ferguson, Josh Maguire and Michael Morgan. So the haka.
That's that, is it?
Adam Blair, right in the centre of the screen there. 35 Test matches tonight, one of 8 Brisbane players playing in this match tonight. Sorry about that, Brett. Some things you just get used to. Of course, he's coaching the City side. Our good friend Freddie. City Country on Sunday up at Tamworth at Scully Park.
No Isaac Luke tonight, Ray. It was something of a surprise omission. He might not have been in best touch for South Sydney, but with 4 forwards off the bench tonight, New Zealand don't have a lot of flexibility around that dummy half area. Lewis Brown, I guess he'll be expected to probably go the 80 minutes. Cody Nikorima is the other option there, but that would mean some tinkering again with Harris as such. So a really big job tonight for the number 17, Lewis Brown, that man on screen.
I've got no doubts that Peta Hiku would have been in the side, but he's got a torn medial ligament. Lewis Brown has proven himself that he can play dummy half. Stephen Kearney has been in charge. He wasn't there for Tri Nations when they won, but he was in 2008 when they won the World Cup. Then they won the Four Nations in 10, Four Nations in 14. The last decade and a half, it's been really, really exciting for New Zealand Rugby League. Darius Boyd at the back, and of course the maiden voyage. Tried and tested players, plus those players on debut: Radradra, Ferguson, Maguire, Morgan. Just the one referee, Gerard Sutton.
He might drop Cameron Smith soon. Mal Meninga, he's getting very close, and amount of Test matches played.
Keep behind it.
So Smith, Cameron Smith to kick off. Kicking off down into the south at Hunter Stadium. And the opposition captain brings it back in Jesse Bromwich. His brother, number 17, Takarangi, dropping out. Play on the 20-metre line then, the first set of the Test match. 131st Test match, and that's Blair getting the ball out to the 30-metre line. Gallen back in the centre as Lewis Brown attempts to make a run. Gillett got involved in that tackle. Taumalolo is taken by his club partner Matt Scott. Gallen goes in with the suspect forearm. As the ball goes away to Johnson, who shaped to kick and then stepped off his right foot, then puts the kick away. Ferguson comes back. And Blake playing at fullback, at right wing, as Dugan takes the ball out to the 30-metre line. In fact, he was back. The back of proceedings, that's Radradra bringing war from the crowd. And now for Parker. Play almost to the halfway line. Australia, their first use. And Gallen takes it ahead to be met by Proctor and Blair. And holding him up as they do. And the defensive line time to get set. Slowing to play the ball down. It's a major part of the game. Controlling the ruck. It's Kahu and Jordan Kahu. Another of those Broncos. 8 of them involved in this match tonight. That's Harris playing it back to Nikorima. And a penalty inside the 10 is the call from referee Gerard Sutton against Australia.
And Sean Johnson very quickly gets underway. 2 players on debut for Australia have had first touches. Blake Ferguson kicked straight down his throat. He'd have been happy with that.
So that's Ma'u. His first run with the ball up to the 30-metre line, Australia's end of the ground. Jesse Bromwich. And almost breaking through. Another strong run from Taumalolo. Now they're 10 metres out and they're right in the middle of the park here. A chance for the Kiwis. Brown, Nikorima goes short to Ma'u. He played at the football, but he was well taken by Cooper Cronk.
This is where you got to cover us at the back.
Well, he never attacked the ball like he expected it. I think it was a surprise to Manu that he was getting it. He's not really running on it. He didn't even have his hands ready to get the ball. He was anticipating that he was a decoy runner and not going to get it. And the first rule of being a decoy runner is look like you want it and expect it. He had no intention of getting that ball. Great crowd, Rabbits. Brilliant.
Yeah, some of the seats that you expect to find empty are absolutely highly accommodated. The top deck of the Andrew John stand. Hard to find a vacant seat over there. This is Darius Boyd now, out to the 40-metre line. 4 minutes of the test match gone. And it's come down to Matt Scott to take the play up to the halfway line.
Larry Parker taking the ball inside the 40. 34th birthday yesterday. Last tackle now against the green and gold.
It's the kick in. Pressure from Lewis Brown. And allowed to bounce and taken then by Proctor. And he's driven hard into the ground by Greg Inglis. Playing in number 3. And this is Beale. On the 30-metre line. Nightingale.
Very bunched the New Zealanders again. They're not spinning the football coming out of their own end. It's power stuff or getting the outside backs involved like that man, Watene Zelezniak.
And the penalty goes against Dugan.
They're very bunched coming out of their own end of the field, the Kiwis, aren't they? If I dare say, a little bit reminiscent of the Broncos, where Stephen Kearney coaches in his club football.
Ma'u. Down on the 30-metre line. And Blair looked to go forward to Taumalolo. Not called by the touch judges. And Brown it is who looked to go long and he put it short into Bromwich. Play just outside the 10. Again they attack. Here's Blair. And Adam Blair it is that'll play it 3 metres out from the line. Brown looking at Taumalolo. He goes behind him and then Johnson puts a little kick in. Proctor!
Oh.
Well, the arms go up from Johnson. It's gone dead.
Well, he's claiming he was pushed by Semi Radradra, and he might have a claim here.
Okay, Bernie. It's coming up to tackle 5. Had no try. Just review possible penalty try. Looking for a push from Radradra.
I don't think it's a penalty try, but I think that man there, Semi Radradra, has come up with a push on Proctor to stop him from scoring. You're not allowed to do that.
We've cleared the onside. Now looking at contest and grounding.
This is quite similar to an event that happened down at Leichhardt just a fortnight ago, when the thoughts flashed through our mind that maybe a penalty try is in order.
Well, if you're
We're
running
going to see
with,
whether Semi Radradra pushes the New Zealand player away from the ball.
you can shoulder or hit the other player. You can't push with your hands like that.
The point is, would he have undoubtedly scored a try?
I don't think it's a penalty try, but I think he has been.
We can see at this
with.
point that the Australian player is no longer contesting the ball and pushes the New Zealand player away from the ball.
Is there a sin binning in a national game, Ray?
I'm sure there is, Peter.
Well, he's off to the bin then, Semi, or should be.
The video referee was concerned in that Leichhardt incident about the ball bouncing and taking away any decision.
The ball has then
to go
gone
for
dead. We
penalty
have a
try.
decision and going to the board.
Here we come with a decision now. So there's got to be a penalty.
Yep, Bernie.
Possibility
No
of
professional
sin
foul.
bin,
Okay.
and not totally ruling
And-
out the try.
Reasoning.
So no try. Jared's calling them over to tell them.
Yeah. Cameron, Semi. But that's a scoring opportunity. It's not a penalty try because there's doubt about whether he would have scored it. But he's taken the opportunity away from him to have a chance. Yeah. It's a professional foul, mate.
Semi Radradra on
Yeah,
debut.
he can go shoulder to shoulder
Lasted
to the
6
ball, but he
minutes and
can't
he's
push it.
heading to the bin for another 10 minutes.
Okay, he's right there competing with him.
True,
So how
but
can
it's
you send
still
him to the bin for that?
it's a professional foul, Cameron. Penalty here.
Yeah, you can compete with them, you can't push them, and that's what Semi did. Semi used his hands to push the player away. You can use your shoulders and your hips and jostle, but you can't push.
Wait, Sean.
No, you're absolutely right. So they take the tap, and it's Proctor who played, or tried to play, the feature role in what we just saw and score a try. Blair, Bromwich, a juggle, batted on, Nicarima, chance for a try, Beale, close to the line. Just a metre away from that try line at the northern end. Bromwich got rid of one. Taumalolo goes to Proctor. And Proctor will play the ball. Back for Brown. Away it comes now through Johnson. Nicarima taken down by Thurston. Watene Zelezniak. Awful play the ball, I might add. Taumalolo. So here's the last coming up now for the men in black and white. Brown goes back to the short side. Proctor has taken to ground. It comes out the back. Nicarima Johnson, who's got Watene Zelezniak with him, but he's into touch over there. That'll be changeover.
It's a great tackle, Greg Inglis, right? Sean Johnson, he scooped up on that ball out the back, and he was heading to the corner there with support, but Inglis from behind just collars him. Plenty of Australians coming across in cover, but Inglis made sure of it.
So the Aussies will rock it out from their 10-metre line.
And with the Australian team down to 12 men there, Darius Boyd, the fullback, spent that whole set of 6 up in the defensive line, and he does it a lot for his club side too. Cronulla Sharks scored a couple of tries with grubber kicks behind the line because they identified the fact that Darius Boyd likes to be in the line. You'll be getting a message out to the Kiwis that an early grubber kick could get a good result.
Thurston. Watene Zelezniak. Taken by Thurston. And he's lost the ball. There's a good chance here then for Australia.
It's a big play from Jonathan Thurston. He's actually trying to find touch. The more they can have the football out of play whilst they've got a man in the bin, the better. He kicked, led the chase, and in his haste to get up and play the football, Tennis at Lesniak loses control.
Words of encouragement from Sean Johnson and Adam Blair in particular, but it puts Australia very much on the attack here. Australia every second down to 12. It's important to have the ball. Slow as she goes, they could even put some points on the board. This is Matt Gillett. He played the ball 20 out, right in the centre of the ground. Corey Parker turned 34 yesterday. Held down by Blair and Proctor. And here's Cameron coming across the ground for Cooper to go to Darius, and away goes the winger. Does he get it down? I don't think so. Blake Ferguson.
Bernie, that'll be tackle 3. No try. Looking at grounding, touching goal.
I'm not even sure he got it anywhere near the ground. He sort of got his hands and the ball caught up with the corner post as he's going out. He dropped it and everything. Yeah.
We can see in camera 6 in the bottom right that he loses possession and it touches the corner post. Have a decision and going to the board.
There was only one team confident in the reaction, and it wasn't the team attacking.
So, corner post, of course, is part of the
went through the corner post, mate. That's touching
in-goal area, so it comes out to the 20-metre line. Andrew Johns. Yes, Andrew?
They look dangerous there, the Australians. Whenever you see the ball go Cronk, Thurston, Boyd, I think they'll stretch the Kiwis. Nice combinations there early.
This is Jason Nightingale now. Equal third top try scorer in New Zealand history. Vatuvei holds the pride of place. And Jason is down equal third with Sean Hoppe. As Proctor is tackled about 35 metres out from the line. To the short side to Johnson, who's hammered by Thurston. Taken by Boyd. Black and white ring around him.
A very good positional play from Cooper Cronk as well. Despite being on this side of the field, he made his way across and was actually able to stand in front of the catcher. He was there if the ball had found space anyway, as Josh Dugan gets his first touch and earns a penalty. And despite the fact the Australians are down to 12 men, they haven't been under much pressure with Radradra not out there.
So, Radradra keeping himself nice and warm, ready for his return.
Cameron Smith soaking up the clock here. He does everything slowly when his team's down to 12 men. I saw him do it in a club game this year. He took ages to do everything.
Here's Dugan. 12 metres on New Zealand side of halfway. Gallen is now 25 away from the New Zealand line. And Parker ran decoy. Cronk went to Boyd. Boyd's got Dugan outside him, but he's put down about 7 metres from that white line. And now from Cronk along the line to Smith to Gallen, and Gallen puts a fend on Proctor. But Proctor and Johnson and Bromwich, they hold Gallen up. Now Cameron, it's gone away to Thurston, and this is Papali with the ball. 5 tackles gone against Australia now. Here's Thurston. It's a kick in, and Nikorima might get back, but he's certainly not going anywhere. And Matt Scott it was that made the tackle.
Well, Blake Ferguson went close in the previous attacking set, and in that one, Darius Boyd really stretched, and this New Zealand left-hand side defence looks like it's going to get a work over here tonight. The Australians are targeting there, and they look very vulnerable. You don't get a feeling they're going to be able to defend that area all night.
Yeah, it was Darius Boyd getting outside Cody Nikorima. Nikorima actually did pretty well to recover in time.
On your run, boys.
But he's certainly a target in this New Zealand defensive lineup. Not often you have a player who hasn't started an NRL game starting a test match. Sean Cody.
Johnson's kick is down to the halfway line. Did well to get that far, really. This is Gallen playing the ball. Spread down the middle corridor they come with Scott. Haka by Brown and Taumalolo. Now the line is out to the right. Crom goes away to Gillett. As you can see, about a metre out. Long pass into Cronk. Now Thurston inside ball Gallen. So 5 tackles gone for Paul Gallen to play the ball. Cronk goes second man. Boyd is there. Boyd close to the line. In fact, Blake Ferguson thinks he's made the line. Jared Sutton.
Last tackle. We have a try.
He believes he scored.
Want to look at how the ball gets to the line.
Well, as Phil Gill just pointed out, looking dangerous every time they come into that part of the defensive line of the New Zealanders. And most importantly, the decision is a try on field. I thought he was actually short and didn't get the football down, but there it seems as though some part of the ball you'd think would be on the white line. This is going to be good for Australia.
Well, twice in that set of 6 they came this way. Looked dangerous on both occasions, and Boyd, well, he's muscled his way to the stripe, but whether or not he's got the ball down remains to be seen. Plenty of hands. He's come down well short of the line. Now with a bit of momentum he heads towards it. I don't think the bunker is going to be able to make a call on this.
Looking to determine on camera 4 whether the ball gets to the line, and we also need to consider the double movement aspect.
Yeah, I think there is a chance that they may, in fact, rule that he's come
We
down
can see in camera
short
4
and then promoted
that the
football.
ball is on the line at this point. We now need to consider how the ball gets to the line and whether that's a double movement.
So is it a double movement or is it momentum?
Well, let's have a look at its speed. Here we go. I think it's momentum.
I don't think he could have stopped it from getting there. We'll have a try.
Having reviewed the available angles in normal speed and based on the live decision of try, we have a decision and going to the board.
So Darius Boyd has got the first try of the test match. The man doing the celebrating is Blake Ferguson. It's 4-0. So the try scorer, Darius Boyd, I just wanted to clarify that. Blake Ferguson was leading the cheer squad and attracting most of the attention, but it was Darius Boyd, the number 1, who scored the try. And of course the try coming while Semi Radradra is still in the bin. Jonathan Thurston, 23 kicks in a row at test level, and he takes the mental work. So that brought that to an end. It's 4-0 in favour of Australia, and Brett Finch on the sideline.
Yeah, thanks, Ray. A lot of pressure already for this left-hand side for New Zealand. And you can see here, they're not getting off the line enough, sliding across their try line. You're always going to get yourself in trouble when you're sliding on your try line. They need to come forward and put pressure on Cooper Cronk. Has all the time in the world, gets it to Darius Boyd. They need to get off their line and pressure the Aussies.
The man who is doing that really well is Adam Blair. If you watch him the other side, he's leading the speed of the defensive line as Gallen brings it back. Push sideways centre field 11 from his own line.
Radradra getting ready to come back into the game as Ferguson takes the defence of Brown and Taumalolo. Now Scott, taken by Harris and Proctor. With some help from Taumalolo. 4-0 in favour of Australia. They did well. They had pretty much all of the ball for the 10 minutes that Radradra wasn't out there. He's just gone back on. You can see down in the box down below. So Radradra's back at the 16th minute. It would be interesting to do a study on just how much football Australia had in that 10-minute period. Plus they get themselves 4 points. Played then by Beale, playing left centre. This man is playing right centre. Harris. Now for Jesse Bromwich. Last tackle here for New Zealand. They're 35 off their own line, and Johnson goes big. Down to Radradra. Great catch. Leaves nothing in the tank. Now he passes, so they'll
Tackle one, called held.
tell him to play it again.
Hold, go.
That's been a good rule change, that one. Used to be a penalty sometimes. Passed him. Speaking of.
Talking of penalties, there's one now. Not letting Greg Inglis up to play the ball in time. Bromwich, the captain, the offender.
They've really been very comfortable, the Australians, the opening 17 minutes defensively. That New Zealanders haven't been down in the attacking zone too often, but defensively Australia look very comfortable against what the Kiwis are throwing at them. That's why there's so much pressure on Sean Johnson again.
There's Dugan. Gallen to the line, then through the hands of Thurston to Scott. So again, we're down in familiar territory, 10 metres out from the New Zealand line. And the long ball to Thurston, inside ball for Greg Inglis. So Inglis playing the ball on the third. Thurston, Parker. Tackled in the opposition 20, Australia.
You flop in. You flop
12 times, New Zealand 9, and the penalty goes to Australia. It's against Adam Blair. So we'll take a break with 19 gone. Jonathan Thurston landing the two as you come back to us here at Hunter Stadium in Newcastle. And 6-0 the score with a quarter of the game gone. In front of, as I said, well, obviously the new coach, and in front of a wonderful crowd here at Newcastle. It's very close to a capacity crowd, really.
Yeah, can see my daughter in the crowd there, eh? For her first test match.
Hannah?
She's here down Yeah, that big camera down there in the corner was Cooper Cronk takes the restart.
And so Gallen has put his shoulder to the wheel a few times in this game.
What was your first test match?
As a broadcaster?
No, as when you were a kid. Which was the first test match you ever went to?
Same answer. 1971, Carlaw Park. 3, I think, in favour of the Kiwis. Henry Tartner kicked the hell out of us. You get to see a test match at Junee, Gus. So here's Matt Scott.
The Diesels and the Wagga Kangaroos of the weekend. That was a test. Stake there.
Gus used to walk across Anzac Parade and go to the test. He thinks every kid in New South Wales does the same. So the Gillaroos and the Ferns, you'll see following this match.
Form out the back, boys.
First test match I ever saw was at the Sydney Cricket Ground. You're 100% correct. Australia and Great Britain back in the 60s.
Guess who scored the three-pointer for Australia, Pete? Parramatta player. 1971, Carlaw Park, the Bob.
Keith Campbell?
Absolutely right. Come back tomorrow night and you can play for the Kings. Ma'u.
Keith Campbell was once the fastest forward in rugby league in first grade. He won a sprint race at Wentworth Park. The fastest forward, yeah.
Bromwich. I could say something about the others. Taumalola. The others were slower than most of the greyhounds I was backing at the time. Here's Blair. 25 metres out from the line. 6-0 in favour of Australia. The test match from Newcastle. Johnson puts a kick in. The chase is on. And saved. From the clutches of Gerard Beale. Blake Ferguson.
He nearly dived into the first row, did Gerard? Oh, he got a bit of a nudge from Cooper. That helped.
Rad. Thurston.
Here's a chance for Inglis.
And Harris got the job over there of containing Greg Inglis. Played just inside the Australian 30-metre line, Josh Papali. Smith has got Tamo out there now. He elects to go to the boot of Cronk. Or sitting down there for...
Well, that was a 40-20 attempt from Cooper Cronk, and they got a nice shape on that. The ball just sat down when it landed. That's Nightingale now. 25 out from his own line, a little bit further.
Harris.
James, Corey!
Zelezniak. New Zealand, of course, ranked #1 in the world. Karima Beale now, taken by Cronk. And the last comes up. Benson. Tie. Very, very high. And taken well by Boyd.
Again, that was one of those bombs that Andrew Johns loves. The swirling torpedo type kick. Had to make a late adjustment, Darius Boyd. He did it well. Radradra looking to make up for lost time. 10 in the bin earlier.
Australia taking advantage of this penalty on the 30-metre line.
There's a lot of penalties early for a test match. Usually at this level they just let it flow a little bit more, but we've had 7 or 8 penalties already in only 25 minutes.
Penalty against Blair. Tackle had been made. It's his job to get off and get away. Andrew, a comment?
It's 4 penalties. What it does, it gives Cooper Cronk set starts, and this is where he's at his best. From penalties. 2 or 3 to the middle and watch Cronk take control.
Tamo. outside the 30-metre line, and Cooper wants the ball. Runs into Blair and Bromwich. 20 metres out, down the middle. Cameron, dummy 1, dummy 2, Thurston, and here's Inglis stepping off the left foot. 10 metres out from the line. Tamo is over the line. Does he get the ball down? No.
5, James Tamo.
He does one well here, Sean Johnson.
Last one.
He gets one-on-one with Tamo, and he makes good
James.
contact and holds on until reinforcements arrived.
Last tackle, Cameron.
You see Johnson, he does enough to get at the football. It'll turn at the end, and the troops arrive to help. We come back out now to the 10 for the last tackle.
Last tackle.
So Cronk with a kick that is looking for Ferguson flew. Changeover.
Marcus Square.
He got right up there, didn't he? Got over the top of a lot of them. He just couldn't come down on the right side of the strike.
Beale. It's out there for New Zealand.
Josh Maguire's been chomping at the bit on the sideline, which is where Jesse Bromwich is now. He's had the interchange card, Maguire, for 5 minutes in his hand. Looking for his first action for the green and gold as the Kiwis with Nicarima, Farns Mahu.
There he is, Josh Maguire, one of the 4 players on the board for Australia tonight. Long ball away to right Barker. Harris has got him over there inside the 30-metre line. Now for Inglis. And he's out there and he's got a bit of football. Maguire. To the halfway line goes Smith and across. Drops it down to Blair. They play the advantage. It's come back to Taumalolo. Proctor. Gallen did well in his 27 minutes. Moa. Josh Maguire, of course, has played Test match football for Samoa. Half dozen occasions. Nicarima. Across to Sam Moa again in 17. Pushes away from Papali the first time. And the penalty goes to New Zealand for a hand on the ball against the Kangaroos.
Yeah, they're not doing much with the ball, the Kiwis, are they? Coming out of trouble, they've sort of lost their way a little bit. They've just bogged down with one-out runs, and on a couple of occasions they've been up this end, they haven't thrown much at Australia either. This 7-6 will be different. Johnson's the key. He's got to take them on himself.
Blair, back to Nicarima. Then it's Kahu. Taken to ground by Cronk. Dugan over the top, wrapping him up. Ball out to Nicarima again. Moa. Smith is low. Tamo's up the top with Maguire. Brown a dummy half. Blair looking to give it. Does to Brown. Drops it over the top to Johnson. Puts a little kick in Johnson. It's forced by Inglis.
He got a little bit of a check-in running there, Sean Johnson. Not that I think he would have got to the ball, but this is what you're looking for. You're looking for him to back himself. A couple of times late in the tackle count early in the game, he was forced to run. He made a bit of a jink and looked promising, but then he just kicked it. He didn't explore it all the way. But they need him playing confidently. He's got to feel as though he's the one that's going to break the line. Then the rest of it will come.
Keep
Piled
behind
on
it.
38 points personally in the last 3 Test matches and scored a try in each of the Test matches. Johnson, he was absolutely outstanding when I last saw him play that Four Nations final in Wellington.
He's a joy to watch.
Played then by Moa. Here's Eastwood. Sam Friday into the game. Johnson blocked up. Johnson, of course, without Thorne. A lovely combination going. Here's Brown, knocked out by Australia, but knocked backwards.
Well, what happened there?
Josh Maguire was able to get a hand as the player was running past him and knocked it back to his own teammate.
Louis Brown was off for the prize here. Yeah, Maguire reaches back and slaps it out of his hands. Very, very clever, that.
Here's Maguire again. A little bit of handball on the previous occasion. Then a run. Now Tamo. 40 metres out from the line. Cameron Smith, Cooper Cronk, turned inside. Matt Gillett, back to Cooper Cronk. Now for Josh Dugan. And Dugan will play the ball 22 away. 5 gone. As they spin it to the boot of Cronk. He goes across towards Inglis and run. And Semi comes down with the ball. Gets it away. Morgan's out there. And it's gone to Thurston. Loses the ball. 6 more. Tamo again. And Tamo will play the ball 9 metres out from the line. Michael Morgan into the game. Thurston, Maguire. Held there by Ma'u and Moa. So Smith, a long torpedo. Thurston, second man. Morgan, Inglis defend, and he's over. Greg Inglis has scored a Test match try.
Well, it's the first time that Tohu Harris has been beaten tonight. He and Proctor have been fantastic for New Zealand on that right-hand side. They kept Papali quiet. They had kept Greg Inglis quiet. But now in the Harvey Norman replay, the Australians get the ball wide and in and away on Tohu Harris. Created a 2-on-1. But Inglis threw the dummy and scored himself.
So Australia 10-0. Try for Greg Inglis, his 28th Test try. The kick was from Cronk. Radradra knew he had Greg in front of him. He didn't care. He landed it down to Morgan. Then there was a little tussle with Harris and Thurston. And then Morgan and his Inglis with the final play. And the coach is happy. Reminiscent of some of the deeds, in fact, of the same man, the coach, on many occasions. 4 times he toured as a Kangaroo, Mal Meninga. 10-0 Australia, Thurston from the touchline. He's expected too much hook on it. And Brett Finch is doing sideline tonight, Brett.
Yeah, I think Greg Inglis will really enjoy the centres tonight. A bit more room, as you've seen there, one-on-one contest with Tohu Harris. He hasn't been given much space for the Bunnies this year playing fullback. But that's the Greg Inglis of old, isn't it? One-on-one. Dummy gets into the backfield and just too big and strong.
Stay behind it. Watch contact.
Very happy Greg Inglis. Been played, I guess, with the same question so many times, you know. You're down on form. You're down to rhetorical. You're down in form, but something like that obviously brings joy to his face.
Well, he's been a handful since coming on. Tamo.
As he was.
Blake Ferguson comes centre field to help out. He's had some strong carries, that man. Got good footwork.
Dwyer. 30 out from his own line. Here's Morgan. Gillett. Having a super season is Matt Gillett. Cronk. High. Down to Kahu. Solid. Nicarima, dummy half now. Continues the length in the arc.
Yeah, Michael Morgan, his first touch was a good one. He looked like he was going to really score there in the lead up to that try. And as expected, we've got 4 starting forwards on the bench now. So Morgan is out there and he'll just play like a back rower. To get involved where he can, do plenty of tackling. Bit of an all-round man. That's to power out there now for the Kiwis as well as Moa takes it forward.
Kenny Bromwich in 21. Johnson puts it down to Radradra. The sort of force of the contact that's out the back.
I called held, mate, because he was up.
Yep, so Jared Sutton will give Semi Radradra the chance to play the ball again. But the impact of the collision between Radradra and Harris, the head of Harris jolted back. This is Thigh Day in 17. 10-0, 35 gone. First half. McGuire.
Pull Harris back on the right side.
City Country on Sunday at Tamworth. Tamo. His Boyd joining into his back line. Dugan. Got a kick through and Lateni Zelezniak. He loses the ball. Lateni Zelezniak has lost the ball and Inglis has claimed a try.
We have no try. Looking at high contact on Dallin Lateni Zelezniak.
Okay, so you heard it from Jared Sutton.
We've cleared the onside, now looking at the contact.
The onside has been checked.
It's pushed out by Greg.
We can see that Jonathan Thurston makes contact with the head of the ball carrier at this point. Have a decision and going to the board.
Yeah, the first contact was to the head. I thought
is that sufficient? We've still got him
on the shoulder, but it is first contact with the head. So no try. It was the call from Jared Sutton.
Penalty sufficient, Bernie?
And a penalty will be given.
Okay.
Jared asking the question, is a penalty sufficient? In other words, is it...
Yeah, penalty, boys, to you.
They need to be placed on report.
It's a penalty, mate.
He's had a tough night tonight, Lateni Zelezniak. I think he's going to play a lot of international rugby league. He's just a young man, still making his way in the NRL. It's been a rapid rise for him. Come up with an error earlier and
penalty, mate. Jonathan
whacked there. And
that's it, mate.
We'll get a penalty, but he's a huge talent.
Greg Inglis just went over to the referee asking what was your decision.
Kevin.
He thought he had another try and he was told that this fellow, Jonathan Thurston, his first contact with the ball carrier was the head.
Well, even then, Inglis pushed the ball out, so it would have been a try either way.
Proctor playing the ball just inside his own 30-metre line. Eastwood just passing the ball along the line to Moa. So Tapan, what can he provide tonight? Johnson. Proctor shovels it down to Harris. The ball went forward from him.
Easy.
They've got a lot of players missing tonight, New Zealand. I mean, this is a completely new combination for them, and you can just see signs that there's not quite enough direction there. A lot of players missing. The team that's not playing would probably beat the team that's playing, being brutally honest.
We've got Lewis Brown on the bench there, as you can see. We've now got Kenny Bromwich playing as the dummy half.
Heads in the back, boys. Just outside leg up for us, Josh. All the way in, Jordan. In you go, Tahu. You got to go in as well, Cameron. Okay, Jordan, Sam, let's go.
2.5 minutes out from the break.
Out!
It's a big 2.5 minutes too. 10-0, not so bad.
There's Dugan. Karima and Beale making the tackle. This is Maguire. Light footing his way up to them. Power, one tackler, Kenny Bromwich the other. Tamo. It's very hard to pull down. He's a giant of a man, but again he's lost that shoe. And here's Thurston. Good decoy from Thaiday. Morgan's got the ball. So Greg Inglis sweeps it deep out to Thurston. Then to Smith, and he goes short to Maguire. Now the last. They go away from Tamo and go to Thurston. He double pumps it, and Thaiday will turn it over.
Control it for us, Wacker.
Well, New Zealand have been forced to make 40-odd more tackles than Australia so far in the game. Australia's ball control has been very good.
This is Moa. And again, we're watching a test match and we're watching one referee. I wonder what you people are thinking about that. Why do we have the other referee every weekend, every match we watch? Yet we come to test match football, we've got one. To Powell. 5 tackles gone. That's Nikorima. It's a kick away. It'll be taken on the shins by Boyd.
Only 20 seconds, so we'll only get a couple of tackles here.
Run! Desperate to get up and play the ball, and he gets a coaching lesson from Gerard Sutton in run of play. Bring the ball up with you, Semi.
Nice play.
Here we go. Cronk. Over it goes to Ferguson. Siren sounding. Oh, he got a kick into the middle. Cronk goal. Cronk's been carried dead, has he? Yeah, they've carried him over the dead ball line. Kahu in particular. Wow. Brilliant in defence. In fact, the whole thing was brilliant. That piece of work by Ferguson, and then Cronk loses the ball. Kahu jolting in the tackle. So spectacular to finish the first half. 10-0 Australia with 2 tries. One to Boyd, one to Inglis. Let's go down to the ground, Brett.
Yeah, just down here with JT. How'd you see that, mate?
Yeah, we defended extremely well. Obviously, Sammy going off there in the first 10 minutes. I thought we absorbed the pressure really well, and then we were able to transition off the back of that. So we'll need more of that in the second half.
Yeah, it seemed like those combinations really coming along in that last 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, we had a bit of ball, so you're able to do that when you got a bit of ball. So hopefully we can just control the ball, play down their end, and force a couple of errors. And like I said, work on those combinations.
Go over the breather, brother. Good luck the second half.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, thank you, Finchy. Wally Lewis and Darren Lockyer will join Yvonne Sampson for KFC half-time. That is next on Nine's coverage of the Test match from Newcastle. I mentioned, of course, City Country on Sunday. This is, of course, Rep weekend. Let's not forget Tonga versus Samoa at Pertek tomorrow at 7:40.
Yeah, that's preceded by Fiji and PNG, right? 2 matches there. They'll be physical.
And the junior Kiwis and the junior Kangaroos prior to that. So there's 3 games on there for Parramatta tomorrow. And the junior representative grand finals, Harold Matthews and SG Ball, are on at Pepper Stadium, Penrith, on Saturday afternoon as well.
Tamo with the first touch of the second half. This is Gillett. Tamo again. Running the play at Manu.
He's been strong, hasn't he?
Tamo. This is Maguire.
Yeah, I think Laurie Daly will be enjoying his performance.
Morgan. So Cameron Smith just ducking around the man that played the ball. Cronk puts the kick up. Ferguson's coming quickly and Nightingale is forced. Every time I in future see Blake Ferguson chasing a kick, I'm going to zero in on you, Blake, because you can fly.
Perfectly placed kick. Comes down a metre out from the line. The chasers arrive with the ball. Just let him fall down and then they're going to bustle him back into the end goal.
I don't think I've seen anybody get as high as this young man in the first half. One of the more spectacular moments. Or maybe, should I say, get quite so elevated.
Well, they need to be the next to score, New Zealand, so these opening minutes of the second half are crucial. Maguire now. The Australians get away 14-16. Couldn't see them being run down.
Thurston now working it on the left of the park. Friday in for Morgan. And a penalty goes to Australia.
Got Thurston down hurt, Ray.
Now, he must have been hit after he passed the ball. I didn't see it. He looks okay because he's pulling his legs up there. Bang. After he passed the ball.
Sam Moa.
That'll knock the wind out of you.
Andrew Johns, a comment from you.
Yeah, it's unnecessary. He passes the ball, you can see the ball released, and Sam Moa goes on with the tackle. Look, if a halfback goes on the line, he takes it forward on. You can rev into a player and go as hard as you can, but the ball is released. For me, that's a cheap shot.
Cameron Smith steps up. Jonathan Thurston being hurt in that tackle and still recovering, looking to put the Australians 2 converted tries in front early second half.
It's a rather conservative play, isn't it? You're 10-0 in front. Just feel as though you're running into a little bit of cohesion. I would have backed Australia to score a try there. But safety first from Cameron Smith. Made an executive decision.
And a swarm of youngsters assemble behind the uprights, hoping to get a touch of this ball when it sails through the uprights successfully. And Australia goes to 12-0 off the boot of Cameron Smith. 21st time as captain of Australia. And this was the aftermath of Jonathan Thurston parting company with the ball.
And what Andrew Johns is saying is exactly right. If you go to the line, right to the line, you can get belted as much as because you're putting your body in a position to do so. But when Jonathan Thurston released that football, he had time to relax his body. And that's when you get hurt, when you get hit in a relaxed state. And we don't want to see that happen to our playmakers.
Johnson with the restart. Tamo. Gillett. Kangaroos rucking it out from their own 20-metre zone. Maguire. Down the middle corridor, nothing fancy. Morgan on debut in goal.
Good.
And I would imagine a mighty future in front of him. Watene Zelezniak eventually getting to wear the black and white. Kahu. Harris. Nightingale. Kenny Bromwich. Friday, good tackle low. Halfway line behind them now. Johnson. Kicks it into the corner. Boyd required to play at the ball. Johnson's after him. Boyd taken by Johnson and Nikorima. Again, they're back inside their 20. Rod winds it up.
Looked like he'd been shot out of a cannon there.
As I said to you at the top of the telecast, his dad back in hospital over in Fiji. Funny this debut performance for Semi be mixed up with the thoughts of his father being ill. Cronk and Gillett. Eastwood and Proctor go in with Moa. This is the last. 12-0 Australia. Thurston kicking down into Watene Zelezniak's corner. It's taken by Radradra and Friday. An awesome sight. Taken by that partnership of Friday and Radradra. Nightingale. Bromwich. Nikorima, Moa. Almost back to the middle of the park. Nikorima. Johnson. Proctor. Proctor unloads. Johnson waves Harris inside. Radradra does the defence for Australia. 5. Johnson. Ball spinning over towards. Oh, Ferguson's above the pack and Dugan. He was the ham in the sandwich, Josh.
Well, he got pushed in the back, straight into the teammate. He's come up with a cold drop there.
It's Beale. In fact, you're quite right. Dugan should have been given a penalty. This is Moa. Ken Bromwich. Here is Johnson. Proctor. The ball leaves the hands of Johnson, though. He doesn't have the same expertise. Nikorima. Taken by Smith. And Maguire, I fancy. Bromwich for Eastwood. Big Greg lumbers towards the line. That's the line there. Nikorima getting it away to Mahu. He flicks it out the back. Tunnel ball, Nikorima. Bromwich is with the ball. Johnson now puts a kick in deftly. In goes Radradra to get it back.
Yeah, I think it's backfired on the Kiwis, Ray. Again, Isaac Luke, not in great touch for South Sydney, who aren't in good form anyway. But Kenny Bromwich, he's a running forward. He's got him playing out a dummy half. Heavy hit there for Moa again. And it kind of nullifies what he can offer this team by being dummy half. The pass that went astray was Kenny in a situation that he's not used to. Sorry, Isaac Luke's gone to the Warriors, hasn't he?
That was the last time I looked.
Well, I've seen him more in a green and red jersey than I have a black one.
Totally understood.
The Warriors weren't going that well early on, right? That's a substituted in.
That's how I got Brett Finch mixed up with Brad Fittler. Same thing. Now, Mahu. Maguire cuts his legs out. Nicarima now. Jesse Bromwich is on. Out the back, flick pass to Powell. Got rid of Thurston with a real to Powell. And then he cops one himself from Tama.
That's a shot.
Here it is now, coming to Johnson. Johnson away to Proctor. And they're 20 metres out on 5. Jesse Bromwich, Sean Johnson. Good. Kicks looking for Nightingale. Oh, it's a mile out.
That's a huge hit by Tamo in the middle of the field. Marty Tapau just brushed one off and went running back into the soft spot there. He was thrown a dummy. He thought, I got a little bit of a shot here. And he comes running back in field and kabang. He runs into that.
I reckon you're a bit cautious in that too, Ravs. Tamo and Kapau, I thought you trod softly.
An amazing crowd here at Newcastle. It's a fabulous stadium. I guess they all improve when they're full of people, but this is a tremendous turnout by the Novocastrians. 27,750.
I'll tell you what, it was at least more than half full during the girls' game earlier. The Jillaroos and the Kiwis.
Hey, PK, working, boy.
A lot of them turned up early.
Thurston, Cronk, going back for Boyd. And Darius put away by Ma'u and Nicarima. Now for Cronk in the middle of the ground. He puts a kick across. Here comes Run. Taken there by Wateni Zelezniak. And bravely taken by Dallin. Harris. Taken down by Inglis and Matt Scott. Now Jesse Bromwich backing up into Matt Gillett. To Powell. Taken by Thaiday and Dugan. Jesse Bromwich, Nicarima, 35 out from their own line on the last. And Johnson will kick. And kicks heavy down to Boyd. Perfectly directed to Boyd. Six interchanges made by Australia, 4 by the Kiwis. And running repairs for Josh Maguire. Don't forget, of course, the international rules apply on this game, so 10 interchanges. There's Jonathan Thurston back to Martin Morgan, and here is Radradra. English Radradra eventually tackled.
Great shot there, Jordan Kahu. That's a tough tackle.
Morgan now goes long to Thurston. And here it is with Smith getting it on to Cronk. Goes in short to Gillett. 5 tackles gone. Blindside Cronk. Good. Puts the kick in. Looking for Dugan. Dead by the Kiwis.
Yeah, it's quite obvious Australia have just got more attack in them than the Kiwis. You always feel like something might be happening when Australia's got the ball. Nothing's happening when the Kiwis have got it. It's a nice little interchange of play there. Now, Inglis was out on the wing and Radradra was inside him. That's brave from Kahu. Really brave.
And Kahu's the man here who cleans up on the other side of the field to save the day again. That's a really good couple of moments there for the young Brisbane player.
Stay behind it!
Well, big set of 6 here for the Kiwis now. They can't afford to get more than 12 behind. Their attack doesn't say to me that they've got more than 2 tries in them.
Gallen bringing it back to the 30-metre line. Now the other prop, Scott. Matt to play the ball. Smith behind Gallen to Cronk, and Cronk away for Boyd. Oh, the ball's gone over the sideline.
And that's 3 blokes that have never played together before. Darius Boyd, Josh Dugan, Blake Ferguson. They had a little chance here, and they're all sort of running the wrong lines and not quite sure who's going where. And Dugan wants to cut inside. Boyd wants him to stay out. Ferguson's looking for the long ball, and Mel goes, no.
Stay back early, Darius. Sam, just slide in for us, mate.
It was a bit clunky, Rabbits.
Brett, comment on the sideline.
Yeah, I just spoke to Australian trainer Troy Thompson about Greg Inglis's hamstrings. He just said he's a bit tight, so nothing to worry about there for Greg for all those South Sydney fans.
Spoken about how big the crowd is, Finchy. What's it like down there? Are they getting into this?
Yeah, there's 27,000 down here, Sterlo. Right at the start of the game, there was electric, but it's just plateaued a bit here at the start of the second half. So hopefully the Aussies can bring it home strong with plenty of tries and get the crowd right involved.
Chapau. Then well done by Nicarima. The ball has gone through Beale, and it's with Nightingale, and he drops it down to Tapau. Back to Jesse Bromwich, who breaks through one. Play the ball 35 out from the line. Tapau. Now for Johnson. Johnson kicks, and then he's nursed into the ground by Sam Faraday. Semi Radradra high. Ball comes loose. Chance for the black and whites. And it's Harris with the ball. Can he unload? Radradra's hanging on.
Here's their chance.
Blair. To Powell. To Gallen and Smith. Jesse Bromwich away for Sam Moa. 3 metres out. Kenny Bromwich's pass.
First one, Jesse.
Knocked on by the
First one,
Kiwis.
Jesse.
Well, it's hard to be critical because he's just playing out of position, but you can see what happens there when you haven't got natural playmakers doing really important jobs around the dummy half. Great catch by Semi. And Dallin Watine Zelezniak, he gets a hand on that to force it loose. And look at this, it's just clunky work. It's, even though it's brother to brother, but it's clunky work.
You saw a little bit of adventure early in that set of 6. And they've got to go down swinging, New Zealand. They've got to get some offloads and try and put some pressure on this Australian defence. Otherwise the Kangaroos they won't coast home, but they'll be comfortable.
Well, just some offloads to bring Sean Johnson into the play with a bit of broken play. They've got to. He's the one most likely, but he hasn't got his hands on the broken play enough.
So Gallen losing the ball, but it went back, and Smith recovered. Thurston looking to pass long, goes to Morgan, who was adjacent to him. Ball loose again. That's a pinch. It's a rake. And the penalty goes to Australia.
Eyes on Blair, mate.
Well, if they're true to form, they'll head across to the right-hand side of the field and give them a little massage over there again. They've looked dangerous every time they've gone there. Having a bit of a committee meeting at the moment. Come on, get on with it.
Yeah, mate.
Accountant having a meeting with the professor. Got things in order now. Cameron Smith and Cooper Cronk. And Greg Inglis will play the ball 20 metres away from the line. Matt Scott got through a low attempt to tackle there from Tapau.
Good run.
So it's played back for Smith. Now Cronk off his right foot, but the NZ has read it. Ma'u and Bromwich. Gee, that pass from Smith had a question mark on it to Gillett. Just a couple out. And it's out to Cronk and he goes into Gallen. Last tackle is with us now. 3 metres away. Cameron Smith with a kick that hits the uprights and it's forced by Kahu.
More pressure. City Country on Sunday at Tamworth. All the youngsters in the side. Live at 3:30 tomorrow up from Tamworth. Looking forward to the trip up there.
Paul Gallen bringing it back. New charges again. That one's come out. Let's play on for Lewis Brown. Also making a road trip at Ray, the City Country game. The golf club's in there. Saturday afternoon. He's a man who can be followed. He's a man who can get his arm free. So too Jesse Bromwich, just like that.
Basically handing the ball to Johnson. Sean will play the ball 40 metres away from the line. Jesse Bromwich, 28 out.
I've got to be honest, the Australian defence has been terrific. I mean, there's no semblance of a weakness.
Oh, that's a great catch there by Thurston.
I mean, New Zealand aren't throwing a lot at them, but there is, you don't feel as though there's a chink in the Australian armour in defence. They're all
English. Point blank range. Inglis again, just outside the 30-metre line. Friday.
Coming from Thurston was giving Semi Radradra a bit of a going over there.
Adam Blair. Adam Blair.
Along the lines of
Adam
for offloads, just charge onto
Adam.
it.
It's on report, Adam. Working the arm.
So we're talking about a chicken wing here, are we? Yes, we are. And on a Broncos teammate, Sam Thaiday.
Yeah, when you get in that position, you can't go on with it. You do awful damage to an opponent's shoulder there. You've got to be a bit of professional respect there, certainly if it's a club teammate. It's only going to lead to bad things by continuing on when you get back in that position.
Inglis. Scott. Inside the 20-metre line. And Australia at 12-0 with under a quarter of the game to go. Here's Thurston. Now Inglis. Inglis held by Harris, who continues to do a good job. Smith. Long ball to the middle to Thurston. Short for Gallen. Right in front of the upright. Smith. Here is Boyd. Flick pass and a fend in the same action. Ferguson on the merry-go-round. Back to Smith. Now for Gallen. Gallen to the 10.
He should have looked there. Instead of tucking under the arm, he had men on his outside, Paul Gallen.
Thurston. Morgan's coming in from the back for the tackle by Taumalolo. Upset what was being planned by his Cowboy teammates. Thurston knew exactly what he wanted to happen. Morgan knew what Thurston wanted, and Taumalolo spoiled the party. So it was an all-Cowboys affair.
Yeah, I'd say Jason Taumalolo knew exactly. He's probably defended this a few times at training in his day. But all it's done is given Australia another set of 6, still at 12-0. It's tough, but it's dry. It's not overly exciting. Thurston standing out wide of the scrum here. He's got all the backline players out to the right. There's no one on the blind side. So there'll be something on here.
Thurston and then Boyd. Lofts the ball over for Ferguson. He's got the corner in his sights, but denied by Beale and Nikorima. Cronk is calling for it. And there's a knock on.
Clumsy play the ball.
We're just over 15 to go. 12-0. They've never looked in trouble tonight, the Australians. But again, you've got to praise the New Zealand defence. We see that Sam Thaiday misplayed the ball. We've had a bit of Greg Inglis one-on-one magic to score the try, and we've had Darius Boyd slide across after a backline movement and only just get there. So they've been far from opened up, the New Zealanders. They don't look to be troubling, but they've conceded 2 tries, and one of them was certainly an individual effort from the centre three-quarter Inglis.
Here it is.
It's Ma'u.
Taumalolo. Bromwich. Proctor. And this kick sitting up down there for Boyd. Taken by Tapau, Brown, Nikorima. 30 metres out from his own line. Morgan off the ground at the moment. Radradra.
He's really gone to the next level, Michael Morgan, hasn't he? When you consider the player he was a couple of years ago, full of promise, but he's really one of the elite now. That was a really good stint out of position for him tonight. He contributed off the bench really well. It's going to be a handful for New South Wales come Origin as well.
Gallen. Now Scott. So 12-0. Cronk goes high. Ferguson's after it. And the ball comes down to Nightingale. Kahu. As a part of that City Country match on Sunday at Tamworth, the inclusive rugby league people, that's the motorised wheelchair, intellectual disability rugby league. All of those people are up there in Tamworth, 100 players with their carers to show people what they can involve themselves in. So good luck to those people. With that awareness campaign up in Tamworth over the weekend. The other forms of rugby league that are playable to those people. Just inside the 20-metre line, and explosive off the mark. Just amazing for a big man. The speed with which he starts.
When he threw the pass there back on his inside, not that one, the offload, but the previous play, you wouldn't have seen that in his game a year ago. It's been great coaching from Brad Arthur to bring him to this level from a real rookie.
Thurston is through into the backfield, looking for support, but taken by Kahu. But there's trouble brewing for the black and whites. It's out to Boyd. It's gone across to Papali. Papali with a fend. Gives it to Greg Inglis. Now it's with Cooper Cronk. Cronk gets a slap over the face. Goes for the line. Referee right on top of it.
He's short. Hand over.
Well, a little bit of excitement at last. A little something. And Cooper Cronk darting and deaving. He just gets caught down inches from the line. Well, I've got to say, with 11 minutes to go, if this is the best that this Australian combination can produce, then they're kidding themselves if they think they're going to win the World Cup next year with this side, given the talent that's not in the Kiwi side here tonight.
Bit of both, mate.
The kick for touch. A good one, finding the line 10 metres short of halfway.
So look at the Kiwis. No Tuivasa Sheck, no Sean Kenny Dow, no Ndee Whare, Peter Hiku, Kieran Foran, Madaleno, Isaac Luke, Jared Warrior-Hargreaves, Alex Glenn, Vardavai, Taki Aho. I mean, they've got a great side, but they're not here tonight. It's only 12-0, and this ageing Australian side is just lumbering around with its nose in front, professionally winning the game, but gee whiz.
Proctor.
They just find a converted try here, the Kiwis. We could have a finish.
Tapau, Taumalolo. 10 metres out from the line, this is the last. Tapau. Johnson puts a kick in for Ferguson to bump it over the dead ball line.
Well, Sean Johnson's got to get his hands on the ball. You just can't have attacking sets of 6 where he lobs up on tackle 5 to put a kick in. He's got to have his hands on the ball. He's got to have people around him. He's got to take them on with something a little bit unstructured, because what they're throwing at Australia is not dangerous.
Yeah, mate.
Well, in this next set of 6, he's got to touch the football at least 3 of the plays.
Let's go, boys.
At least.
Better 4.
3 of the first 5. But I got to say, Australia have been professional but unimpressive.
Right, keep behind it.
So the dropout from Smith down to Johnson.
Oh, dear, dear. How does this happen?
No.
Oh, dear.
So we had everything organised for him, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had the red carpet out.
No, there's not much you can say, is
Menu
there?
out.
Bring on the band.
He's built the entree.
Look, am I out of order here? Have you been impressed with Australia?
Heads in the
No.
back. Here we go, Jordan. All the way in, Cameron. In, Jordan. Okay, Cooper.
I don't think it's been very good.
Out.
They'll probably have to score a couple of tries late and they'll marvel, but I don't think it's been very good.
I think the effort from this New Zealand team, as it is, has been very brave. Very brave.
Yeah, there's been some huge performances out there. Kahu at the back has been tremendous. And so too the Melbourne duo, I mentioned them earlier. Kevin Proctor and Tohu Harris.
Now for Corey Parker. 7 of these players, Australia, but Gus mentioned the word ageing. Here's Cronk going away for Ferguson, and he's to ground. That's changeover.
Marcus Square,
7 of them 30 years of age and over.
Okay. Go.
Well, on average, it's the oldest Australian side that's ever been selected.
Absolutely.
Well, they can't possibly be thinking of taking this side to the World Cup at the end of next year. Can't possibly be thinking that way. great players, wonderful players. They've had an outstanding record, but there comes a time.
Johnson, beautifully picked up over there by Beale, but then it's all come undone. He's lost the ball in the tackle.
He went for the flick pass, I think.
Yeah, he passed it back. Yeah, but then when it's on the ground, he knocks it on in trying to pick it up. Yeah,
gets him on
Jesse
the outside. I think he goes for the flick to Jason Nightingale, all to no avail. Passes it straight into Dugan.
And he's saying he's knocked it on here when he's gone to retrieve it.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about, Jared Sutton. I've got to go back to that subject I raised earlier.
Adam, you've got to keep your feet on the ground till it's
just
in.
watching one referee, I find it quite refreshing.
Thanks, Cameron.
He's handled it with aplomb. Everybody knows what's going on. He doesn't seem to be in any form of discomfort.
I'm sure the referees would love to have one referee. It's a lot quieter. I know that much. I reckon the referees would love to have one referee. I think the two referee things are fast.
Thurston down the crowded blind side. Papali for Inglis, and Inglis stands. I thought he would give it to Radradra. He'll play the ball 15 out. Smith, then to Thurston. Showed it and then gave it to Gallen. Gallen 9 metres away from the New Zealand line.
They've got him on the right.
Thurston, and then Cronk quickly back on the inside for Boyd. Thurston waving his arms around like a traffic cop. He's got the ball, puts the kick in. Semi will fly. Semi rakes it down. Greg's got the ball back to Papali. And Papali is held. Good defence, New Zealand.
They're brave again, the Kiwis. You've kept turning up. 0-0 so far the second half, and it's pretty much all been played at their end.
Finchy, a comment from you?
Yeah, just a quick rap for the Kiwis fullback Jordan Carter. Geez, he's come up with some great tackles tonight. A lovely one-on-one tackle there with Greg Inglis, and he stopped Semi Radradra in his tracks early tonight. He's had a busy night, but he's done well.
Blair with an offload. Proctor on the ground.
Yeah, well, Blair was showing Sean Johnson what he should be doing.
Jamalolo. Johnson. What he would give to have an inform Isaac Luke. And of course a healthy Kieran Foran around him.
Tuivasa-Sheck.
Tuivasa-Sheck on the spine. Kick down the ground will go dead. Yeah.
Okay,
here's Jared Sutton talking to the players. Let it bounce. It's got to bounce. The ball is not dead until it's bounced out of the field of play. Sam Thaiday leaving the ground down at the southern end and applauding the crowd for the magnificent size of the audience. 12-0 Australia. 3 minutes of the game to go. The 131st Test match. So I suppose some people will be thinking Australia goes to #1 ranking again. There's Sam still giving the crowd their due deserts. Some people will be thinking Australia will be ranked automatically #1. I don't think it works that way. Taumo, Thurston, back and away. Boyd, Inglis, 21 out. Last tackle coming up. Boyd, dummy half. Thurston putting the kick in. A little kick, and the bounce is good for Nikorima. Got it away to Kahu. Ball is loose, and it's a try.
Comes off Josh Dugan, right? The pass.
Scrum.
Called it back to the 10.
Scrum, mate.
Ferguson's
Ferguson's
got the ability to get you in. I said to you earlier when Boyd scored He led the cheer squad. And here he goes again. It's not working, Blake. They're not falling for it.
How, boys? Time off. Head in, Darius. Head in, Darius.
Well, Australia have been tackled inside New Zealand's 20-metre zone 46 times. That's double the amount that New Zealand has seen at the other end. 46 times have been tackled inside the opposition 20, and they've come up with a couple of tries in the first half, nothing in the second half. A minute and a half left on the clock. I love watching international football, Ray, but this hasn't been a test match.
Advantage Australia. It's play on Australia for Radradra now. Still able to get it away, but he said, I called hell.
That's the third time tonight.
Yeah. He's had about 6 offloads, Radradra, and 3 of them he's had to be called back to play the ball. Come on, a minute to go. I'll try something.
Tamo.
Something.
Here's Gallen. Cronk, and then Boyd, and it goes for Ferguson. I think you've got it this time, Blake. Now you can start cheering.
Hooray.
Blake Ferguson has got a try
at last.
16-0 with the kick to come, which will be purely academic. Tried hard to get his name in the history books. On the stroke of the 80th minute, it comes to reality.
Yeah, they just gave Australia way too much room there. Probably fatigue. They were drawn in by the decoy runners, and they were really sliding and heading backwards on their own line. And eventually Australia got the ball to the right man, and he was able to slide his way in. So full-time score will say 16 or 18-0. It's been a professional, controlled display by Australia, but hardly anything to get excited about, to be honest.
So Smith is going to take the kick. Over on the touchline.
That's 3 from 3 for the Australians here at Hunter Stadium. Test matches played here in Newcastle.
It's quite strange, really. New Zealand have played more test matches here than Australia. And here's Cameron Smith taking over the goal kicking for simply the records and nothing more. Time is up. The kick is trying to come back, but officially the score is 16-0 in favour of the Kangaroos over the Kiwis, ending 3 consecutive wins by the Kiwis. The run comes to its close here in Newcastle tonight in front of 27,750 people. The match between the Jillaroos and the Ferns will be coming up for you very shortly, after, of course, we've cleared up our housework here after the test match with the tries scored by Darius Boyd, the first at the 14th minute, Inglis at 32, Ferguson at the 80th minute, and 16-0 the final score in favour of the Kangaroos. Let's go down to the ground. Yes, Andrew?
Yeah, with Jonathan here. JT, how do you describe that test match?
Oh, very scrappy. Short preparation, only the 2 sessions, and that probably showed out there tonight. We had a lot of opportunities in the second half, but we were just real sloppy and scrappy, so it wasn't a great affair for the fans, but I think it's a step in the right direction for us. Obviously, new coaching style, new players to the team, 4 debutants. So there's plenty to work on, but very scrappy.
Spoke about that new coach. What's Mal brought to the team?
He's just simplified everything for us. Closed a few programs down that we had with Sheensy as a coach. So short, limited preparation. That's what we had to do, and he'll be very disappointed with that second half, and we've got a lot to work on.
You copped a late knockout there after your pass. I called it a cheap shot. How did you pull up from that?
Yeah, it rattled me a bit.
It was only 5 seconds late.
Yeah, I know. It's bad because your body rests. So once you throw that ball, you're relaxed, and when they get you, it hurts you. Obviously, your neck, you get that whiplash. So hopefully, we can get it out of the game because it's very late. Cooper copped another one there on that last play. So it's not good of the game, but we'll see what happens.
Well said. Well done, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Over to you, Finchy.
Yeah, I'm here with Kiwis captain Jesse Bromwich. Big Jess. Great effort tonight, even though you didn't get the result you were after.
Yeah, the boys put in a massive effort, mate. We did too much defence and just let ourselves down with the ball.
Yeah, for the effort, considering the week you had a lot of injuries and a few other distractions, I thought the performance tonight was pretty good.
Yeah, I guess we weren't too bothered with what happened through injuries and all that kind of stuff. We just wanted to focus on putting a good performance on tonight, and I thought we did okay, but we didn't get the win, so it's not good enough.
On a personal note, must be super proud to be the captain for the first time.
Oh, it's a massive honour for myself. My family are all here in the crowd, mum, dad, and my missus and the kids. So, it's a massive achievement for us as a family, and very proud.
Well, this unlucky with the result, mate, but well done again on the first captaincy and the great effort tonight.
Thanks, Vinchy. Appreciate it, brother.
Over to you, Lockie.
Yeah, here with Blake Ferguson. He's pretty excited, mate. It was a nice way to finish your debut with a try.
Yeah, no, it was a good one. I think it was good to keep him to nil, and I think the boys went really good in the middle there. We helped us outside backs.
Yeah, I guess first week playing for Australia. How was the week?
Yeah, it was awesome, mate. Got to mix it with some of the legends of the game, and just learn a little bit about the Australian culture and the pride that's gone into this jersey, and looking forward to honouring it as good as I can.
And enjoyed Mel's, influence this week?
Yeah, enjoyed it. I've been coached under him a couple of times, so it's good. Always love spending time with Mel. He's a really good coach and a good motivator, so it's awesome.
You got your family, young fella Harlow here watching you today. That must be pretty good.
Yeah, pretty special, come a long way, I guess, and it's good to reaping some rewards, and good to have my little man here, my partner here to support me and all my family, so really proud to don the green and gold.
Well done, mate. We're proud of you. Go and enjoy.
Thanks, Lockie.
Over to you, Finchy. Joey.
Now with Sammy here, Sammy Thaiday, and little Gracie. She's not too happy. She's a Kiwi fan, Sam.
Yeah, she must be a New Zealand fan. A bit disappointed with the loss.
What about the game, mate? It was a real grind out there. Tell us about the conditions.
Yeah, it was fairly dewy tonight on the surface, but they really showed up in defence. We had a few attacking opportunities. I think we were lucky when Sammy got sent for 10 there. We actually scored some points, so that helped us out a little bit there as well.
How was Mal during the week?
Yeah, Mal was really good. He's trying to change a few things culturally in the team and get us back to being a real dominant Australian team.
Thanks, Sammy.
Thanks, Joey.
Up to you, Yvonne.
Thank you, Andrew. Poor little Gracie, you thought that she was going for the Kiwis with that. A late effort from debutant Blake Ferguson turned it into a 16-0 scoreline in favour of the Kangaroos over the Kiwis. After the break, the official test match presentations here at Hunter Stadium, and we'll find out who is our VB man of the match.